can you use an already seasoned LLC to own my XRP of my cold wallet? Yeah, you absolutely could. So we use it as the initial capital contribution to the business. We list it on the capital contributions page when you're filling out your operating agreement. We get that notarized. You just list, the wallet address, which asset it is, how much of the asset it is, how many tokens, and then the total dollar amount on the day that you transfer it. And when you do that, you get it notarized. It serves as a timestamp. A lot of people want you to buy another ledger or another cold wallet or send it off of an exchange or do some
From the
crazy
get-go,
stuff.
Ripple has
I,
worked with
I want to move it
regulators,
as
and
little
we
as
have worked
possible.
with
I want it to
regulated
just stay on with the
institutions
cold
like
wallet I've
banks
already
where
got. So
there
that's
isn't
why we
regulatory
structure it that
uncertainty.
way. And
And
there
so
could
we
be
have
tax
found part of the
implications
reason
for
why
moving it into
XRP
another
has performed
LLC
well
if
is
you're
because
not the
people
sole
realize,
member
hey, wait a
of
minute.
that. And it
Back
also
to your
could
question
depend
is
if it's you and your
XRP the next
spouse, if
Bitcoin?
it's
I think your
qualified joint
question
venture. There's
is
15 or 16 states in the
XRP the
US where
next
qualified joint
Bitcoin?
ventures allow for
If we work
tax-free
with the
transfer
system
of
to
assets
solve
into
this problem, and
corporations.
we
You
can
might have a family
solve that
limited
problem at scale, a
partnership,
problem
and
measured
then,
in the
each
trillions
one
of
of your family
dollars,
members that are
there's a
also on
lot
the
of
cap
opportunity
table
to
would
create
need to
value
transfer
in
in whatever
XRP.
portion of,
From the get-go,
assets are
Ripple
going to be
has
added
worked
to the
with
corporation
regulators,
in
and
order to
we have worked
maintain their
with
equity
regulated
in that deal.
institutions like
If you're going to
banks
use
where
an
there isn't
already
regulatory
existing
uncertainty.
LLC,
And
if it's
so
in
we have found
Wyoming
that
and
part
you've
of the
structured
reason
it the
why
right way and you
XRP
have
has performed well is
anonymity,
because people
sure,
realize,
but
hey,
you're
wait a
going to have
minute.
to add new provisions to
Back
your
to your question
operating
is
agreement to be able
XRP
to
the next
manage digital
Bitcoin? I think
assets
your
inside of that and
question
use those as
is
treasury assets if
XRP
you
the
weren't doing
next
that before.
Bitcoin?
There's a lot of additional
If we work with the
considerations when
system
you're
to
moving
solve this
assets from
problem,
your
and we
personal name
can
into an
solve
already
that problem
existing
at scale, a
LLC.
problem
You'd also
measured in
want
the
to look at
trillions of
the
dollars,
liability that you
then there's a
currently
lot
have
of
for that
opportunity to
company.
create
So if
value
it's
in
managing a
XRP.
piece of real estate
From the
or you're doing
get-go,
any type
Ripple
of
has worked
service with
with
it, if there
regulators,
is
and we have worked
liability
with
on that
regulated
and you're not in a
institutions
state
like
that has
banks
really
where
strong creditor
there isn't
protection, you might
regulatory
be opening
uncertainty.
yourself up to
And so we
lawsuits where
have
people
found
could
that part of
take
the
your
reason
digital
why
assets,
XRP has
like if you're in
performed well is because
Florida,
people realize, hey,
So,
wait a minute.
again, I would consult
Back
with
to
an
your question
attorney
is
if you were going to do
XRP the
that
next
and not set
Bitcoin?
up
I
a
think
new
your
one. I
question
think it's always
is
best to separate
XRP the
assets or
next
segregate
Bitcoin?
assets is where I was headed with
If we
that.
work with the
So just
system
want to
to
remove
solve this
liability and kind of
problem, and we
silo
can
things and
solve that
separate
problem at
stuff
scale, a
out and have
problem measured in
profits
the
roll up to a
trillions of
management
dollars,
corporation.
then
Up
there's
to
a
you
lot of
though.
opportunity to
If
create
you've got
value
private
in XRP.
equity, if you've got other things that aren't really super risky and you've already got maybe a Nevada LLC or a South Dakota LLC or maybe a Delaware LLC. Those also have the anonymity and some creditor protection depending on which state I just stated. Then yeah, probably could use it. If it's not one of those states and you are doing business for something else out of it, you probably want to set something up new for your crypto. So